Okay, we are live. Let me just get the overlay up for you all. Hold on, just a moment. All right, we are live. Welcome to the stream. This is a definitely much easier game than the previous. We have the Charlotte Hornets, who are 20 and 45, so they are nowhere near of the standard that you need to make the playoffs, and obviously we're in that picture, so we need to definitely pick up the victory today. Not too many stats to look at today. Mikal Bridges obviously had an excellent 38-point game the other day. He is averaging 25 points, 5.5 rebounds on excellent shooting in those games he's played as a Brooklyn Net. Potty, hope you're doing well, my friend. Also an interesting stat. This was previous to last game, so it hasn't included his free throws there. But Clax is shooting 68% from the free throw line over his last 10 games. That is a really important thing because now he doesn't need to sit on the bench in close games. It actually happened the other day. But the more reliable he becomes at being able to shoot free throws, then that makes things a lot easier for us in terms of deciding whether or not to play him down the stretch. Obviously, with that risk of, hacker clacks being employed. Mikal's nearly averaging 30 in his last 6. He's had 45 and 38 points, the 2 highest scoring games of his career. I do believe there's also 3 games where he scored 30 plus. And at Phoenix, he only scored that once. So, I mean, there's plenty of opportunity for him to reach his ceiling at this team. Yeah, it's really that simple. But one of the biggest stories coming out of today is Ben Simmons had an MRI which revealed inflammation in his back. And obviously that's on top of the knee problems. So it's just like, what do you even do? One person said that it's time to shut him down and then focus on him being healthy next season, which I think is a pretty feasible option. Obviously, there's no guarantees that he is going to be right when that time comes, but I mean, it's pretty clear he's been carrying something all season. He's been not really himself at all. So it's a bit of a shame because, we had KD and Kyrie at our disposal. If Ben was right to go, it would be a very interesting vision we would have taking place, in terms of what Ben could offer on top of KD and Kyrie. We know how that's all panned out. So now we've got to look, into the future and see what Mikal, Cam Johnson, those guys, have to offer alongside Ben Simmons. So it's a bit of a different vision that we had at the very start of Ben's tenure here. A very different situation. We don't have as high of an aspiration, at least in the present time. Down the line, probably want to... Well, we're supposedly retooling. I don't know what that means still, but is what it is. I just thought I'd continue to include this because I think it's just... it really sums up the roller coaster of emotions that Nets fans have. Very reactionary, some of them. We lose, you want to sack everyone. We win a game, you love everyone. So that's usually how sports goes. If we look at the starting 5, it remains the same. We're not looking at Boston's thing anymore. We've got Sumner and Ben out, and you can see for Charlotte, LaMelo is the only absence for the Hornets. So That is your injury report, and the starting five remains the same from that. Well, first the abysmal start, and then the excellent comeback. One heck of a comeback as well. I mean, we probably had no right winning that, but we managed to somehow get it done, and now we have a potential opportunity to, you know, bank some, or put some wins in the bank that are going to be ever so valuable in a very tight Eastern Conference. Let's have a look. That's a big New York thing too. NFL and MLB fans are the same way here. I mean, yeah, I can't stress it enough. You've just got to hold your horses. If we win a game, cool. If we lose a game, well, then you move to the next one. It's the same thing if we win. You know, we beat Boston, that's all good and well, but you've got to move forward and focus on the next. It's really that. It's that simple. I preach it all the time. So, alrighty. Big game. Big game. Put your predictions in the chat if you really want to. Not too fussed. Even if LaMelo is one player, he's one of the best injuries for us today. Yeah, injuries, I mean, look, the other day, Brogdon being out for Boston was pretty big for us because he has been torching us off the bench. But, yeah, they still had a crap ton of players there available to perform. I feel like when we were on the road, we struggled because they got home advantage. Well, that's the easy way to look at it. But the other day, I mean, that was just remarkable. It's very interesting how we have had all these big comebacks away from home. And that makes it even more impressive because, you know, you're facing a serious amount of adversity. The crowd's pretty vocal. You know, you've got a lot of factors to deal with. We were trailing by 28. If you have not seen my most recent video, I recommend you give it a watch. It's a bit of a film breakdown. Basically just analysing how the hell we won that game. So, yeah. Daniel Berry, hope you're doing well, my guy, as well. Nice to see you. I feel your pain with the KD poster. Well, I mean, it's only right we keep it up there. Look, I'm not even... If I felt pain, I would have taken it down. I think, as I've said many times before, it's an acknowledgement of what we've been through to get to where we are now. Even though it's just like what could have been. It is a reminder of how bad that period of time was in terms of the expectations and how they did not meet reality whatsoever. Or reality didn't meet those expectations whatsoever. One bit. So the Hornets are starting. Rozier, Oubre, Hayward, Mark Williams, who's been really good as the center for them. And we've also got PJ Washington at the 4. Yeah, Mark Williams is a really good player. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gents. We're back on the call. I hope you're all doing well, those who are in chat right now. The regulars. Nice to see you all. Alrighty, so the usual 5 on the floor for the Nets. Also, we had Nerlens Noel supposedly get signed. I thought it was initially a, like, you know, like on a vet's minimum, but it's actually on a 2-way deal. So that hasn't even been announced yet. We're going with a small ball lineup, it looks like. Brunson isn't playing for the Knicks tonight against Boston. Hopefully we can win and pick up a game on them. Yeah, well, we need Boston to do us a favor here, but the Knicks are in scorching hot form. I mean, the win they got the other day was pretty insane. They had no right getting the game winner the way they did. If you see the final possession, like, I don't know how he's gotten the shot off. Julius Randle. We are underway, though. We won the tip, and now it's going to be McCall. Shoots a midi, and he got it immediately. First bucket of the game, McCall. Okay, I'm just going to sit back and relax a little bit. Alrighty, so Rozier going to get into an offensive set. He's going to hand it out to Oubre, whose assignment is Bridges, or Bridges' assignment is Oubre. There was just an air ball by Gordon Hayward. What on earth? So Clax with the defensive activity. And in a game like this, you have to get the job done early, I feel. Get out to a big lead nice and early. McCall is money again from the edge of the paint. From about 15 feet, he knocks down the second. Rozier. Step back two. It's off. Rebound, Cam Johnson. Dinwiddie picks up his dribble. Spence. CJ. Spence. One-on-one with Mark Williams. It's a step-back three. Why would you shoot a step-back three when you've got a center guarding you on the perimeter? I don't know how good Mark Williams is as a perimeter defender for a big. Washington responds with the three. Rudy, my guy, thank you for the 5 buckaroos. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And appreciate the share on the subreddit. Didn't have to do it. Johnson for 3 in the corner is off. I would show my gratitude a little bit more, but I've got a game to call here. Rozier, good ball fake, and he scores the 2. Ouch. Bridges got hit. And he is a little bit ginger moving up the floor. Clax rolls, he lost the ball, but there was a foul involved. I think his arms were chopped. He's been averaging 25 points. Yeah, we did brush over that in the pregame. Yeah. He's been on a tear. I mean, 3 30-point games, I think. It's been pretty unreal. Cam Johnson in the corner is going to shoot the baseline 2. It's off. So 5-4 Hornets. Rozier, the high screen set by Williams. Dinwiddie on his back shoulder. Rozier with a turn. Williams the turnaround. He gets the roll. And they've gone on a little bit of a 7-0 run after the first 4 points were in the hands of the Nets. So Dinwiddie is going to control the offense. Clax. McCall for 3. Got it again. 7 for McCall. 80-point game watch. Hayward into the paint. The runner is off. It's a bit long. Clax with the board. Dinwiddie will control the tempo. Johnson down the middle. Kick out of the corner. Finney-Smith for 3. It's off. Bounced on the rim a couple of times, but no cigar for the Nets. Hayward. Oubre. Drive. Extra feed. It ended up back in his lap, and he's missed the layup. It's a 5-on-4. Dinwiddie. He's got a couple trailing. He's going to shoot the 2, and he gets it a go +1. Rozier wanted the offensive foul. He had a case. He got hit in the chin, but it's going to be Dinwiddie who gets the 2 to go after getting the roll, and he'll get 1 more. Toka Tom, hope you're doing well, my guy. Indeed, let's get the victory. I mean, we need it, so. Been a decent enough start. Dinwiddie makes the free throw, converts the and 1, and play resumes with a 3-point lead in the hands of the Nets. Hayward. Top of the key, picked up by Johnson. A bit of off-ball movement. Sees Oubre return the favor with 2 off the window +1 as well. So a bit of off-ball movement. So probably need to monitor that a little bit more. I probably need to pay attention to it as well, because it seemed like a pretty stagnant possession, but it's going to be Oubre with the free throw. What do you think of the Noel signing? It's about damn time Marks signed someone who's 6'10". Damn right it is, but it's funny we talk about this because it hasn't even been announced yet. Like, Woj reported on it like 3 days ago or 2 days ago and nothing's happened. I think that's an over-exaggeration. A bit over 24 hours ago. Bridges has 9, ladies and gentlemen. But I do like the signing. It now makes me a little bit more comfortable playing a backup big. Hayward on the catch. Doesn't shoot the 3. Driving kick. Washington 3 is good in rhythm. And some good ball movement by the Hornets. So 13-12. Bridges has carried the offense early like he did last game. The high screen by Clax. He gets to his spot and scores again. He is automatic. Stuck on automatic. He's got 11 of the first 14 for the Nets. Push shot by Williams is short. The offensive rebound by Hayward goes begging. And now the Nets can go in transition. Not really. They'll get into a bit of half-court offense. Finney-Smith for 3. That's off. And he's had a couple looks early from the corner, and he was knocking those down the other day. But he did start very, very cold early on. I think he missed his first 3 three-pointers. Hornets missed on one end, and Bridges with the backdoor cut on the other. He is single-handedly tied up with the Hornets. He's got 13. The Hornets have 13. Rozier. Baseline jumper is short. The rebound goes to Cam Johnson. Dinwiddie trails. Give and go. Finney-Smith in the other corner. He goes off the dribble and the push shot is well long, and that is battered out of bounds by Clax, who was trying to get a rebound. We're going to get a timeout here with 6 minutes 29 of play. McCall is a force. He's got 13. I don't think he's missed. He may have missed one shot. And look, if the shots work, then I've got no complaints with him taking 55 shots a game. But it's the way in which he's done it. He's had a few mid-ranges where he's gotten to his spot, whether that's the elbow or the edge of the paint. Then he's scored a 3 on the wing, and then he's done a backdoor cut as well and done some work off the ball. McCall's just... Oh, God. I don't even think I say his name right. Is it McCall or McCall? Or... It's not McHale, obviously. McHale would have an I in it, like, after the A. He's on pace for 81. At this rate, yeah, he literally is. He's on track for 100. That's his pace right now. Times 13 by 2. 26. 26 times 4, 104. He's on crack right now. Oh, well, as long as we get the message across, it doesn't really matter, does it? Let me have a look at the box score. I'm really curious to see what he's shooting right now. So you can see the Hornets are like 5 for 12. Big deal. We have McCall scoring on 6 for 6 shooting. DFS has missed his first 3. I believe he did that the other day. The Hornets have made 2 threes, both via the avenue of PJ Washington, which is probably something we want to cut out. But so far, so good, because McCall's been insane. What can I say? No McCall, no party. So, what a start by McCall Bridges. 13 points already. Pretty insane start. If you are enjoying the stream thus far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. You can always donate as well if you're feeling super lucky today. But yeah. Yeah, Mikel is nice as fuck. Yeah, he's just so smooth. The KD trade wasn't as bad as I thought. He is... Look, the KD trade... Look, KD's better. But if Mikel can become anything remotely of the sort, which he sort of is, like his mid-range game is pretty lethal when it's actually good. I think the consistency is probably the next big thing, but for the most part, he's shooting 53% from the field in 8 games as a net. Oubre from way downtown, that's short. Clacks with the board. Mikel was hooping when Devin Booker was injured. A lot of Suns fans said he actually looks like a number one option. Well, Mikel actually got asked about this. He said, I think it was perfect timing when the trade happened because, I'd had to assume responsibility at Phoenix and the ceiling was there, exposed, but it was just a matter of how much he could exercise it. And unfortunately, the Suns system probably didn't allow him to do that. Now that there's no clear number one, it's just waiting for someone to take that opportunity. Dinwiddie with the 3 after the Hornets went under the screen. He's relishing that opportunity. He's embracing it with both hands, which is good. Royce is in. Hayward with the push shot. That is smooth. So we have already got one sub. Dorian Finney-Smith has gone to the bench. I would suspect he's going to play some backup big minutes. Dinwiddie, the skip pass. Royce is wide open. Clacks, I thought he was fouled on as he was trying to gather the ball for the offensive rebound. It was not the case. Now the Hornets the other way. Hayward, the deep 2. Or not deep 2. The midi is good. And a couple buckets cuts the lead back down to 2. So Nick Richards getting ready to come into the game. When is Nerlens with the team? I would assume when they actually announce the signing, because they haven't yet. Dinwiddie, Bridges in the corner. Pull up 2 on the baseline. He still hasn't missed. He's got 15. Oh, this is ridiculous. He honestly could be on track for 50. That pass to Hayward was wayward. I didn't intend for that rhyming to happen. I'm not that smart, but Mikel in 7 minutes, 15 points, 7 of 7. And God knows what he'll score against Houston, because I saw a little graphic of the big point games that Houston have given up to certain players, and there's been a lot of 40-point games in there. So you never know. Mikel could be poised for an even bigger number. But granted, you can't really start as well as he's played here. Cam Johnson in the mid-range. That was pretty poor defense by the Hornets, who, once again, the pick-and-roll defense wasn't ideal. Dennis Smith is in the game, who had a much better start to the year. He's sort of dropped off and fallen under the radar. Thor for 3. That's off the rebound by Royce. And now we will see what happens on this play. Royce is doubled. Johnson's wide open for 3. Got it! 26-17. We've gone on a little bit of a 7-0 burst. I say a little bit of. We've just gone on a 7-0 burst, full stop. Richards in the post. He's got Dinwiddie picking him up, who is better than you would expect, and he forces the miss, giving up about 4 inches of height. Now Bridges gonna drive, pull up on the baseline. He got it again! He's got 17 and still hasn't missed. He's literally scored the same amount as Charlotte. It's just look, I think I was going to make a promise. I said this in real life. I don't know who I said it to, but I said I ought to make a bet with the stream. If Mikel scores 60 in a game, I have to buy his jersey, full stop. Right now. And right now, he looks like he's going for 70. Exactly my point, Dark Shadow. It's been an insane start. Unbelievable. Has Mikal hit the rim yet? Nope. 17 points already. This is an unbelievable start. I don't think I've seen an efficient quarter like this even with KD in the game. Like, this is a long time where I've seen a quarter this efficient and this high volume as well. Like, it is unbelievable. He has not hit the rim. He hasn't. It's been swish after swish after swish. Also, fun fact, Utah is available tonight, so I'm interested to see if he gets them back up 5 minutes. He deserves it, but he's not going to get it, is he? I mean, the other night we played like a 7-man rotation in the second half, so if you don't want to tire these guys out and it becomes a blowout, or if it becomes manageable, like a 20-point lead, a 15 to 20-point lead, I want to see Utah in. He deserves Joe's minutes. I would say that too. You got to try something different and be a little bit more creative. Because, yeah, I don't like persisting with the same stuff. You got to be accountable. I think that's what Jacques Vaughn has preached since he got here. But with this specifically, like he's been very happy to run like Joe and Royce and ride the cold stretch that, you know, they've potentially had at certain points throughout the season. Joe is in another one right now, or not really. You know, we hit a couple 3-pointers the other day, but the problem was the defense yet again. So Cam Thomas, who had a pretty poor game the other day, he only played like 7 minutes. He missed all four of his shots. I think he's in the game now. And what a luxury he can go to work. If Mikal's scoring 17, he's going to demand a shit ton of attention. You would expect that the attention is going to be much different out of the timeout. They've got to pay a lot more attention to Mikal because it's been way too easy. Rozier into the paint. That layup is good. That was some good off-ball movement. He was able to shake off the defender at some point in that run. DFS. Mikal again. He's doubled on the pick and roll. Royce in the corner. Dimwitty for 3, took a couple dribbles and knocked down the 3 in the hand or in the face of the defender. Hand in his face. Rozier, 3 to respond. That is off. The rebound by Cam, who soared over the top of Nick Richards and now in transition. He's going to try. Oh, God, that was a bit ropes. Nearly turned it over. Royce catch and shoot 3, top of the key. He got it again. Bro, we can't miss at the moment. It is 5 3-pointers in this first quarter. I mean, the offense is flowing. I'm very interested to see the box score at quarter time, but this is exactly what we needed for a start. Dennis Smith is going to shoot over Spence. Block the midi. Dennis Smith has got to go again, and he missed the 3, and Cam will let it bounce out of play. What a defensive play by Spencer. So now their coverage is, well, they're doubling the ball handler when the pick and roll happens. They did it with Mikal, they did it with Spencer. The problem with that is it's basically going to be a 4-on-5 everywhere else on the court. Actually, no, sorry, a 4-on-3 in our favor. So then you've got to rotate across, and there's been far too many open looks for the Nets in this game. So Cam Thomas going to get it here. Top of the key. I don't know who that is guarding. I think it's McGowan's. I think that's his name. Cam, deep 2, step back. That is off. Clax bats it out, and we get a recycled possession. Curry, Royce on the wing. He missed it. It looked pretty good off the release. Dennis Smith, drive. Looked for Richards on that alley-oop attempt. There was a foul as the ball was in transit. Clax will pick it up. Why is Bruce Brown on your screen? I have no idea where you're looking. we've got Spence, Mikal, Clax, Seth, Cam, Paddy, Ben. Granted, I think next season we're going to definitely need to update that because Paddy Mills is on the end of the rotation. Oubre, the 2 goes over the top of Clax's excellent shot contest. And that, well, they've needed a couple buckets just to stop this momentum. Here we go again. Royce to the corner for Seth Curry. Sidestep, the midi, rims out. So Hornets the other way. Dennis Smith going to get through. Doesn't get the roll. And we've got a loose ball foul on Nick Richards, who was trying to get that offensive rebound. Did I see Mavs versus Suns? I don't usually watch game highlights for other games, but I did see those game highlights. I did see there was, you know, a bit of chippiness between Luka and D-Book. So, look, if that's going to be a matchup in the playoffs, I mean, that is going to get a crap ton of publicity and viewership, especially if the quality is like that. Mikal gets doubled. Royce is another open 3. That one is short. I mean, if that's going to be the treatment Mikal gets from here on out, which I would expect, given he still hasn't missed, we're going to need to ensure that we're knocking down open looks like that one. McGowan's is dead to shoot. He bricks the 3, the rebound by Curry, and Mikal will hold for 1. He's got about 9 seconds to get one off. He's picked up by Dennis Smith. He's going to drive. Fade away. Oh! How is he doing this? He's got 19 on 9 of 9. Dennis Smith puts one up and nearly banked it in. It rattles out. But that is the opening quarter done. We lead by 15. But the talking point out of the first quarter is Mikal motherfucking Bridges. Brooklyn Bridges. Mr. Fantastic. Thing 1. Whatever you want to call him. It's ridiculous. He's been insane. Let's have a look at the box score. You can see the... I was about to say the Wizards. The Hornets. Their shooting has not been great. And granted, it's not going to be great when we're always getting back and forcing them into half-court sets because we can't miss. You can see the Hornets aren't shooting it particularly well. It hasn't really been a matter of it being a heavy turnover game. It's been a matter of how well we've shot the ball in comparison to them. You can see Mikal's got 19. Spencer has hit a couple 3-pointers. He's got 5 dimes in the opening quarter. And we are shooting the ball insanely well from the field. 5 of 12 from 3 as well isn't great, but you like the volume we're shooting it at if we can convert. Clax defensively has been present. He's on 2 fouls though, so we probably need to be a little bit conscious of that. I do like the minute allocations though. The lowest amount of minutes a starter has played in this opening quarter is 8, and usually that's sometimes below 6. So it's good to see that we're getting some heavy minutes under the belt of these starters. As for the bench, I do want to see Utah play. 10 assists on 15 made field goals is pretty good, especially when one of your players has, had 9 shot attempts. Usually you would assume that's because of isolation possessions, but the plus minus is insane. I mean, Mikal's plus 17. Royce is plus 12. So Clax has gone to the bench and there's been an immediate impact. But overall, what a start. Oh no, I can see the lines through Joe Harris's box score line, which means he's coming into the game. Shit. But yeah, that game between the Mavs and the Suns, I mean, you got 37 from KD, you got 30 from Kyrie. They shot it both above 50% from the field, played heavy minutes. What a game, huh? If you are enjoying this stream, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new as well. Mikal, unfortunately, we can't watch him play. He's on the bench now, and we will see a bit of run by the second unit. Clax is manning the 5. Washington is blocked by the man we've just spoken of, and he will now bring the ball up and give Seth Curry facilitation duties. Seth, Clax, Joe, screen set by Clax. Joe picks up his dribble, and that is a rhythm 3-pointer. First shot, first make, and that's a really simple offensive possession there. You know, you set a simple screen, and off the dribble, shoot a moving 3-pointer. Good work by Joe. Washington to reply. Nope. And a rebound by Clax. Seth Curry going to push the pace a little bit. He goes baseline. Kick out to Royce. One more to Johnson on the wing. And now Oubre will be in isolation. Johnson took a shot to the face, and it will be a foul and an inbounds from the side following this stoppage. So Clax has just got to be a little bit careful on defense with those 2 personals. Apart from him, no one has picked up a foul, which is a good sign. Curry with the wraparound to Clax, and now he gets it back. He's going to shoot a 3. It's off. And that was basically identical to the previous possession with Joe. Oubre, Washington gets through the kick out to Smith, who shoots the 3. That is off. The rebound, Clax. The Hornets cannot buy one. Royce looking. He's got Washington manning him on the outside. Curry goes baseline. Good work to protect the space under the basket, and he was able to get the shot up. He was fouled. It's going to be free throws. 2 shots. Did not make the initial, so couple shots here. If you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well. And Seth Curry with the make to get us to 40 points, insanely enough, early on. Second free throw is good, and we have doubled the Hornets score in a little over a quarter. McCall's got 19. He is still outscoring, or very close to outscoring the Hornets. 1 3-pointer away from outscoring them, and we've already had, well, 14 minutes of action. Crazy stat. Oubre going to drive on Curry. He was fouled. He got it to go. It was a bit of a strained jump shot. It's going to be free throw, or a free throw, an opportunity to convert an and 1. Best Nets player of all time. I can't give you the answer to that. I don't know basketball well enough. I'm not going to speak on something I don't know. That's another thing I preach. I'm not going to talk about shit I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. So Curry, surely Clax got fouled off the ball. He's going to get it now. Fake the pass, the spin, off the window. He got it. That was smooth. KD was unbelievably good, though. I think he averaged 30 points in the games he played here. Oubre the drive. Clax swatted that shit. But Johnson, I believe, was the guy who picks up the foul on the drive. So it's going to be more free throws for Oubre. I'm happy that when we traded KD, we got both Bridges and Cam instead of Ayton and Cam. Well, I definitely wanted Bridges. If we somehow got Ayton, that would have been an ultimate fleece. But actually, I don't think it would have been a fleece, but both teams would have won. I definitely think, though, that if they lost Ayton in that same deal, Phoenix, having to start someone like Jock Landale at center, I mean, he's not a championship big. No offense to my fellow countrymen. So the Hornets make both free throws. Kelly Oubre more specifically. It's back down to 17. Curry to Clax. We've got Joe, Cam Johnson, Royce, Clax, Seth Curry on the floor. That ball is tipped. Johnson will go back to retrieve. Got Oubre on his right shoulder. He shoots the 2 and does exceptionally well Another smooth jump shot, and we have 45. So Washington. Curry went for the steal. He didn't end up with it, but Royce did. In transition, skip past to Joe in the corner was not good. Royce is going to get it back. He had 15 acres of space, and he still couldn't get it to go. He's not shooting the ball well. I guarantee Utah is knocking that down. Royce took a shot by Nick Richards. It's going to be a turnover, an offensive foul. Ayton would be pointless since we have Clax, plus he wants a big contract. Well, if we could have gotten him off the Suns' books, but shipped him off to another team in like a 3-team deal and got someone from that team, then it would be a huge success. Perhaps a backup big at least. Curry behind the back. Couple passes. Joe is open. Top of the key. And the 3 goes. And we have a timeout. We have scored 48 points in God knows how much. We've actually doubled our score in less time. If we go back to that Boston game, we had 23 points with 7:11 left in the second quarter. And we have scored 48. Julius Erving played when the Nets were in New York in the ABA before they combined. Yeah, I know that very simple stat, but I don't know in depth what he actually, like how damaging he was on the court beyond the stats, because I can look the stats up, but like I don't really understand how the game was played back then well enough, and I don't really understand like what he did and how impressive that is in that style of play. You know? Like, the best player of all time, like, I think that discussion is a load of rubbish. Like, I just think it's a waste of time that we constantly have to be consumed by this idea of the GOAT discussion. I mean, it wouldn't be sport if you didn't have a GOAT discussion for every sport, but I just think, like, it's basically impossible. It's all opinions. Statistically, you can never tell who is the best player of all time. There's so many external factors to consider, and then with that, you've got to guess. You know, it's your opinion ultimately. You know, it's just all opinion based. Whereas stats, it's more like, what's the word? It's more defined. Like, you can see who is the best point scorer, and you can't dispute it because there's a stat saying how many points a player's gotten in their career. He won 3 championships with the Nets, but the NBA didn't count it. Well, not the NBA. Well, it would have been the ABA, yeah. Who have I got to win the Natty this year? I'm assuming you mean Nationals? Is that what you mean? Please clarify with me and I'll give you an answer on that. I agree, it's such a pointless agreement at the end of the day. Just enjoy greatness. That's exactly the point. Nationals, I've got no idea. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's bad. I don't really follow college basketball or anything like that. Like, I know the teams exist. I know there's like some... there's better teams than others, obviously. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you're all entitled to your opinions in terms of who you think is the player or best player of all time, but I don't get really obsessed with that sort of stuff. I just think it's a waste of time, that argument. So Williams is back in the game. Clax is on the bench. Williams does not get the hook shot to go. We're playing DFS at the 5. And that did seem to work against the Celtics the other day because we were hitting shots. When the small ball 5 can actually hit 3-pointers, that's when it becomes a bit scary. Cam Johnson is doubled. Finney Smith, Royce, we pass around the perimeter. Joe on the catch. He's got another one. And you know what? You can put Joe Harris in your GOAT discussions because he's hit 3 3-pointers without a miss. He's got Mikal Bridges syndrome right now. Smith on the drive. He scores off the window. And he cuts it down to a 23-point deficit. Please, for the love of God, do not do a Boston. But yeah, with regards to college and nationals and that sort of stuff, I don't really follow it. I don't really know. Joe again on the move. That one is short, so get him out of your GOAT discussions. Dennis Smith in transition. The alley-oop. He looked for it, and it was on offer. I mean, Finney Smith is giving up a crap ton of size. Apparently in stats, Joe is the 10th best shooter of all time. Well, oh, that is rubbish. What the fuck is that offensive foul? Dennis Smith just ran right into Joe, and he's been pinged for an offensive foul. That is turnover 1 of the game for the Nets. I mean, that just is testament to how well we've played. And that was a pretty, like, shitty foul. Like, that's a joke of a foul. What do you want him to do there? He's just ran straight into Joe. And he's elevated his arm, so he can't get elbowed. So what on earth is the foul for? Regardless, it's a turnover. It's going the other way. Yeah, look, Joe is one of the best three-point shooters if we look at percentage. And he's taken them at a pretty high volume as well. Seth Curry's also in that discussion. Cam Johnson has taken a crap ton of elbows to the face in the last couple of games. He had to face the brunt of an elbow in the first half last game where he picked up his 4th personal. In this game, he's been absolutely murdered in the paint. Like, what on earth is that offensive foul? That is a flop. That is a flop and a half. Seeing the replay. So we're going to see if this is a... Oh, Cam's got a serious level of bleeding to the nose. He's been absolutely clubbed. I got Kansas and UConn in the final. I mean, if you've got Kansas and UConn in the final, then I've got Kansas and UConn in the final. He is, he's... He took a proper hit to the face, and now he's gonna get a bit patched up. You're gonna have to clog the nose with a bit of tissue there. That is a big hit. I mean, Mark Williams' elbow is probably the size of my face, so if he hit me in the face, I think I'd have a couple black eyes mixed in there with some serious bleeding. Yep. So the bleeding has been plugged. They are looking to see if this is any more than a common foul. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We are doing another watch along, not for Nets Rockets, but we will we will for the Nets Bucks number 1 and then Nets Minnesota number 2. It's a flagrant. It's a flagrant 1. 2 free throws and ball. Yeah, so that's not a foul. That's aggravated assault. It's not even aggravated. It's just straight up assault. So yeah, what's the deal? What was I going to say? God, it's literally... So he's got like a plug, but it's bleeding through the... It's like bleeding through the plug. Like it's fully red already. You're literally gonna need to tape that up. Like, blood is definitely gonna drip onto the court. 100%. There it is. He's got to make the free throw and then get sent to the bench, because this is like a bit out of control. He's going to have to come off. Give Utah a bit of his minutes while they get that fixed up. Yeah, I would do that. Nope, but they're going to bring Mikal in. The man of the moment. So Mikal's in. 53-30 the score. We've got possession. Cam Johnson's going to go back down to the rooms to get that sussed out. That's a nasty hit. I don't think it's a broken nose because it doesn't look like botched in any way, but the bleeding's a bit uncontrollable at the moment. So Nets going to get into a set. We're playing a bit more small ball. Royce gets the ball tipped into the backcourt, and we've got 9 to shoot. Come on, Royce. I need to see some playmaking here. He drives down the middle. The layup. He did not get it to go. He was barely facing the basket. Now the Hornets in transition. Smith with the Euro. Got rid of Bridges and gets the bounce. And it is back down to 21. Seth. Looking. Finney-Smith. Royce on the wing. Back to Finney-Smith in the middle. Hand off to Joe. Nope. He faked the pass. And Finney-Smith knocks down the three-pointer. He had me fooled. I thought he'd offloaded the pass, but he'd held on to it. And the lead's back up to 24. The offense is basically unstoppable at the moment. Even with McCall having sat down for quite some time, and nearly a turnover for the Hornets. Smith to Hayward, who cut to the basket and blew the layup. That was an air ball. Well, not an air ball. It hit the backboard, but how he didn't even hit the rim from like 3 feet out is just a bit depressing if you're a Hornets fan. I mean, what is there to smile about? Especially when you're down 24. Spence, DFS, Curry, shoots a 3. Bit of space there. Short on it. Rebound Hayward. Smith drives down the middle. One more for Washington, and Dinwiddie didn't expect it, but he's going to get the steal here. And now he's 1-on-1 with Washington. Drives down the middle. The layup is good. Finney-Smith was there for the follow if needed, and it's back out. I say back out. I don't think it's ever been 26 today. Rozier for 3. That's off. DFS with the contest, and now in transition, Curry drives, stops, kick out, is a bit loopy to Spencer. The 3's off. Is Bridges hurt? No, he's back in. Cam Johnson is down in the rooms with a nosebleed. PJ Washington. Through the legs. The 2 is short. The rebound by the Nets. And they've got some serious Nets versus Chicago syndrome here. 32 points in a crap ton of time. Curry through the legs. Step back 2. That one rattles out. And Curry, I thought he'd lost his footing, but in transition, Rozier, bit of a wild layup. That one's off. Bridges, good defense. Dinwiddie, he's going to pull up for 3. And the Hornets sagged off. They can consider themselves lucky that he didn't knock that one down. And now Smith, McGowan's, Hayward. Smith, Rozier in the corner. He's got Curry. Now the switch. Finney-Smith picks him up. Rozier down the middle. The kick out. Hayward, tightly guarded. Bridges, good defense. Curry with the active hands. And then he intercepted the pass. He's got Joe trailing for 3. That one is well short. And I think Washington got a piece. Hayward in transition. Bridges with the block, trailing from behind. Dinwiddie in transition. The cross. Foul. And it's going to be shots for Spencer. But the defense has been exceptional. I mean, it's the Hornets, but some of the activity defensively, I mean, it hasn't made an already shit Hornets team. It hasn't made things any easier for them. LaMelo missing the whole season, he is. Yeah, so the Hornets, that season is even more prolonged for their supporters. I mean, why would you even support them? They're basically doing cardio. Dinwiddie misses a free throw. Probably the first miss of the game. I'm mystified. We're up 26. Why are you not bringing Utah in now? He's not even that bad. Like, so 58-32. Offense has sort of taken a bit of a pitfall in recent memory. We've missed quite a few three-pointers. Dinwiddie going to shoot the second. He missed the first one. As we've said, he makes the second 27-point game. Well, if the last game was proof of anything, it's that the game is not over till it's over. Oubre misses the drive. It's going to be a foul on the shot. It's going to be 2 for Oubre. But let's have a look. Where's the foul? Yep, right on the arm. But what was I going to say? Oh, I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Yeah, but I even said this in the video. If you haven't seen my latest video where I break down the comeback against Boston, make sure to check that out. But in that video, I said, simply put, the game isn't over till it's over. And this game is no exception. I don't care how bad the Hornets are. You're 25 up. You're in a very good winning position. The key is you don't be complacent. You absolutely put this game to bed when you're given the opportunity. You don't leave the door slightly ajar. Finney Smith is doubled. Clacks. There's open shooters everywhere. Dinwiddie wide open in the corner. He knocks it down. And that's the kind of shot he was getting at Dallas. You know, with Luka bringing so much attention, that meant there were a lot of open looks, you know, everywhere else, because he was getting double teamed, triple teamed, and Spencer was getting open looks like that, especially in the corners. I think he shoots the ball pretty well in the corners, actually. Cam Thomas, the skip pass. Finney Smith misses to the left. Cam getting hurt is going to mess my six-man up. I'm not sure what that is. I don't do betting. Rozier is short on the floater. He then hit Clax, who looks like he's squinting a little bit, so he may have been hit in the eye, but we got a timeout. We will have the ball on the side. We're up 26, game in control. He is 12, now he's hurt. Oh, so I'm assuming you just have to get over 12 and a half. He's the only one I need. He's definitely going to be back for the second half. That's provided we don't rest the entire starting lineup in the second half. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new to the stream. We'll be back for Nets Boston and also Nets Milwaukee and Nets Minnesota on the weekend. We'll be missing Nets Houston. Yeah, Cam needs 1 point, one anything so I can hit, but he's hurt. Cam Johnson, not Cam Jordan. I mean, you can call him Cam Jordan. He shot the ball well. Playing a bit like MJ, not really. I'm just saying it to fit that agenda. He could get over 17 and a half, though. He's just got to be back on the court. He probably will get over, though. I think I'll go out on a limb and say that. Alrighty. So it will be a side out. He hurt. He just copped a huge elbow to the face, and he is bleeding that badly that even the plug in his nose could not absorb the blood, because there's that much of it. So he's actually had to go down to the rooms, and I would assume he's getting that patched up. They may have to put like gauze or like bandaging like around the front here. He'll look like a warrior, but you got to look the part if you're playing sports, man. He's a pretty tough cookie, so I would expect him to be back on the floor in the second half. There's no real reason to rush him back on in the first half. Especially with 2 minutes to play, it doesn't really seem like there's a point. Heck, even up 26, you may consider just not playing him the rest of the way, which I don't think you guys would be happy about if you put money on him getting over 17.5. So McCall actually isn't taking a shot in the second half, or in the second quarter. He had a career high 19 points in a quarter. So he has not scored in the second quarter, but we've not really seemed in any way, shape, or form phased by that. Offense still looks pretty smooth. Clax misses the first. I did not think we were in the bonus. Oh, there we go. Cam Johnson's back in. The blood is still... Well, it's more under control. You can still see blood. But it's definitely much more contained. The plug isn't actually saturated with the bleeding. So 62-36, 2 minutes to play in this second quarter. He's back in. Yes, he is. Hayward. Johnson nearly with the steal. Rozier with the wide open three. That's off. Finney-Smith, the board. And now Dinwiddie. So Clax, Spence, McCall, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, the 5 on the floor for the Nets. Cam Thomas. There's a holding foul off the ball. Clax is going to have to go back to the line and shoot more free throws. He's in the game. Proof the Nets can't stop a nosebleed. Well, in this game, it's looking pretty nice. 36 points conceded in a half. I mean, that's pretty unfamiliar territory, at least in recent memory. Clax, free throw 1. This time he gets the bounce. And let's see if he can make the second to make up for those 2 misses. Alrighty. So the second free throw coming up for Clax. Oh, that one is awfully short, but you already know Clax shooting free throws and lane violations go hand in hand. And once again, we've got a lane violation. So he's going to have a third opportunity to make 2 free throws. 2 opportunities for the second. And this time he punishes. He is perfect from the line. No, he's not out for the game, Cam Johnson. He's back in. He's playing right now. So 3 by McGowan's is good, and I reckon that's the first 3-pointer they've made in time. Since the prehistoric days, like, it has been, yeah. It's been pretty ugly. Thomas the drive is going to roll it back out to Spencer, and he gives it back to Cam Thomas. Drives down the middle, bit of a body bump. The runner is good. You've been saving my life with these lives, bro. I'm happy to provide the service. There's an offensive foul by Nick Richards. Just completely thrust his body into McCall's, who was obviously trying to play defense. Yeah, but obviously the whole point of the watch-alongs, if you can't watch the game, you know, they're here for you. These watch-alongs, if this is the closest thing you can get, then so be it. And it's probably in line with the stream you're watching or something that's definitely delayed. So McCall, Cam Thomas, thought about the 3, top of the key, the high screen by Clax. Deep 2 from the elbow, it's off. And we're going to get a second opportunity at it. Thomas all the way through for 2. And that looked incredibly smooth. The Hornets had committed to the offensive side, which left them overexposed in the paint. And the Hornets miss on their end. So we can get it to a 30-point lead at the half. 2-second difference between shot and game. Cam Thomas is going to be given responsibility. 7 to shoot. McCall is fouled. It's going to be a push, as I believe they were trying to do the switch on that screen action there. MJ got to sell the Hornets for their sake. Well, they've just got no one. Hayward was good. He was all about that a couple seasons ago, but he's come back from injury. He hasn't really gotten continuity. They've got some young players worth a look. I don't know how the Hornets beat the Heat the other day, especially with the way they're playing here. Rozier, his career is just in no man's land. Let's be honest. Why does MJ got to sell? Because his team's trash. The team sucks. Like, all these, like... Oh, God, that's a... What the fuck? Have they just... No shot they gave that. Oh, that is a foul. I don't think Mikal thought that Dennis Smith was going to throw up such an irrational three-pointer. I think that was a foul on the three. So Dennis Smith going to shoot a couple free throws. Score sitting at 31. Dennis Smith makes number one. And irrespective of these free throws, it will be the lowest scoring first half by any opponent the Nets have played this season. So he makes the second. The previous best was Milwaukee, who we held to 43 points in the first half of a game on October 26. So Dennis Smith, the third, is off. The rebound by Clax. We got three to shoot. Spencer is going to pull up for one of those trademark half-court threes. And that one was well off. But a 29-point lead at the half. Holy smokes. What a first half, people. I mean, if that doesn't deserve a round of applause, I don't know what does. What a damn half. I mean, granted, it was against the Charlotte Hornets, but let's have a look at the box score. We haven't done that nearly enough today. You can see that Mikal's got 21. He still has not missed. This guy is untouchable. Spencer's got 15 as well. I think that's been a really underrated contribution. You can see, I'm just going to extend it. Dorian Finney-Smith hasn't really done too much. He hasn't needed to. Cam Johnson, 3 of 5 shooting for 9 points. And you can see Clax has already got the 10 rebounds and a couple of blocks to go with. The bench, well, we've seen 3 threes from Joe. Seth Curry's 4 shots have rimmed out basically every single time he shot the ball, and Cam Thomas has scored 2 of 4. Or he scored 4 on 2 of 4. So that is the first half. You can see the shooting is well and truly over 50%. We've gotten to the free throw line. The threes are falling. Probably not at a very standout percentage, but you know what? 10 threes in a half is pretty good no matter what way you try to flip it, or I don't know what the word is, interpret it. Ultimately, you do 10 times 2, you're on pace for 20 threes in a game. And if you have to take 52 threes to get it, then so be it. But 16 dimes, that's also a pretty good number. But yeah, an excellent half by this team. It hasn't really been a turnover-heavy game. We've only had 1 turnover, which is pretty nuts if you think about it. If we also go up, you can see the Hornets. I mean, 35% from the field and 23% from 3. They're getting outscored in basically every area. Less free throws, less threes made, less field goals made by quite some distance. And, yep. They've also had 5 less shots, which doesn't really help their cause. Had a few extra turnovers. They can't even force them. They've had 7 turnovers. The shot selection's been a bit questionable. If we look at their box score, you can see 6 for Dennis Smith on not great efficiency. And apart from that, their bench doesn't really exist. Let's be real. There's no one there to really talk about. I mean, that commentator at Charlotte is wasting away. I think, what's his name? Eric Collins? He's wasting away because there hasn't really been too much to cheer about, and he's a commentator of high energy. Oubre's got 12 on good efficiency. Mark Williams has got 6. And Washington made his first 2 threes. But aside from that, that is just a really dire viewing experience for the Hornets, if you're a Hornets fan. Does Dwayne Wade still own a piece of Utah? I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest. You know, it's probably worth putting your stocks into a team like Utah, who have got some pretty good pieces. LeBron will be the Vegas owner once they get a team. I wouldn't put that past him. A good game would be the LaMelo Hornets versus the Jalen Rockets. No, that would just be dire. Be a lot of isolation possessions, I can tell you that much. But if you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new as well. We'll be back for, well, you can see the upcoming games to my right and or not to my right, to your right. And you will also see the upcoming streams if it actually changes. It's changing very quickly, so you can see the Bucks and the Wolves are the 2 games next, and then I'll be waking up at 6:30 in the morning to cover the Nuggets game, which I don't think is a very wise decision, but you know what, I'll do it anyway, because why not? Okay. Is Bridges the next Kawhi? Yeah, no. Let's just be realistic. Bridges has not done what Kawhi's done. He doesn't have nearly the same amount of achievements as Kawhi. And Mikal has literally played this good for about 8 games. As soon as he got here, that's when he's picked up the pace. And look, I'm not saying the ceiling couldn't be the same, but you know, is what it is. Well, around the grounds, we've got Portland taking on Orlando. That's a pretty irrelevant game, but I'll have a look anyway. Dame with 14. He's been pretty inefficient. He's got 8 free throws already. Nets should sign Trey. I would disagree with that. If you can package like picks, this and that, I would so try go for Dame. Because I don't know what Portland are doing right now. They've got Jeremy Grant and Damian Lillard amongst players that I'm not saying they're going to be bad in the future, but they're not like good either right now. And Anthony Simons, who isn't playing right now, but Bankero's got 16, Mo Wagner's got 10 for them, Bol 7 off the bench. At the halves, the Spurs are playing Houston. What an exhilarating match. OKC Utah, that's just started up as well. That's a really good game. Phoenix Dallas earlier today was really good. D-Book and Durant combined for 73, and then you had 12 from Wainwright off the bench, which is pretty handy. Kyrie and Luka combined for 67, Hardaway had 21 off the bench, and Chris Wood 17. But that wasn't enough because they conceded 130. Dallas just don't have anyone to guard KD. Justin Holiday's pretty lengthy. Tim Hardaway was guarding him on that go-ahead bucket at the very end. But, like, who's going to do it? Josh Green's too small. Reggie Bullock is not going to do it. Bridges picked up the pace a couple of games before being traded. Well, yeah, when he got given the opportunity to play, but in terms of him actually, like, scoring 45. He hasn't scored above 35 a game in his career until he signed with us. Kyrie trade was bad for both teams. Well, the Mavericks just haven't played that well with Luka and Kyrie. They've had some difficult opposition, but that said, they would have been better if they could actually play defense, which they can't. Nerlens Noel is not playing. Halliburton with 29 and 11. He's an absolute baller. He hit the go-ahead 3 to knock off the Bulls. That's a big win for us as well because, you know, we need that separation yet again from the 11 seed. Obviously, we can't make the play-in, you know, as an 11 seed. So the more games Chicago lose, the better. Duarte 15, Mathurin 17 off the bench. And for Chicago, 42 to Zach LaVine. Yep. I've just seen that now, same time as I read your chat message, Caden. 14 to Pat Will, 23 to DeMar, but it's not great, is it, for Chicago? And then the Lakers are making moves, and I'll give them credit because they're actually pretty good now. Clay and Steph had 49 combined, but Jordan Poole was trash. They had no real support. Draymond had 15, probably his best offensive game of the year. And the Lakers, what did they get? They got 39 from AD. That's what they needed. And they had 6 players in double figures. Austin Reeves, 16. He's been awesome. 8 dimes to go with. Malik Beasley, not great. Dennis Schroeder, 11. Troy Brown, 14. He's been pretty handy. Dorian Finney-Smith was the worst person they could have traded for Kyrie other than Luka. Yeah. I don't think they probably needed to have Luka and Kyrie with DFS because they just don't have anyone that can pick up like a wing like KD. Ultimately, if you're in the West, you're going to come across KD at some point. Like, whether that is in the conference finals, like, or the semis, or the first round, you know, you're going to come across the Suns at some point. Because, let's face it, they're going to go pretty deep into the playoffs. So, you're definitely going to come across them. Like, whoever is in the West is going to come across Phoenix at some point. So, you need someone that can guard KD. And that's not even discussing D-Book. So KD, like, if you don't have someone that can guard KD, you're stuffed. And Dorian Finney-Smith, I don't know what I'm actually going to go back to the first meeting between the Nets and the Mavs. Well, there were actually 2 games. The second game, let me have a look. So the first game, where we scored 125 and lost, Spence had 11 in that game. Their bench carried that one. But, like, you had Josh Green off the bench. KD had 37, so DFS wasn't doing too much. Kyrie had 39 in that game, and we lost. If we look at the second game, I think that's a bit of a better gauge because we only scored 96. Then again, I could be proven wrong. Here we go. Why is it going to that game now? It's gone to a game last season. I want the November game. November 8. Let's have a look. So November 8. Why did I just jumped because for some reason my headphones reconnected. Like, I don't remember them being disconnected. KD had 26 and he shot 10 of 20. So it's not awful, but not nearly the amount of shots you want him to be taking. He had 3 turnovers. It's not a bad game by KD by any stretch, but yeah. Finney Smith had 18, so that was a pretty good game by him as well. We're going to be back for the second half in just a moment as well. But yeah, they just need an extra body because I think that just places less burden on the defense. Hopefully this doesn't happen, but Paul, Durant, Booker get injured for the season and Ayton is the only good player. That is... If that happened, that would have to be one of the unluckiest things that could possibly happen to your team. Like, that would be an unreal level of misfortune. I think the reason Mikal is being compared to Kawhi is because their career stats in their first 5 seasons are similar. That's like the only thing you can base it off. That's another, like, I just hate, like, comparing players to other players in the same season. Like, completely different situations. You know, there's nothing to suggest that they're going to play the exact same way. The career's going to pan out the exact same way. You can possibly compare their skill, like what they're good at, what they're bad at, their attributes, you know, in their game. But like outside of that, you can't compare them. You know? Can't get carried away with Mikal. Like, I'm so for what I'm saying here, but I don't want to get carried away in the possible scenario that he falls off or he gets injured or something like that. So I'm not going to get carried away. The second half is about to get started. 70-41 the scoreline. Decently sized crowd in for the for this game. Rozier will start with the ball. Rozier, the handoff. Looks like there's a foul in there by Dinwiddie to start this third quarter. So Hayward on the side is going to inbound it to Williams. Mikal getting injured, no way, that's impossible. Well, anything's possible when you're wearing a Brooklyn uniform. Hayward for 3, that's off. Anything's possible in a Nets uniform, whether that's winning games after being down 28, losing games after being up 28, or getting injured when you haven't been before. Finney Smith on the catch. Clacks into the paint. One more to Finney Smith again. We've got 3 to shoot. Mikal? No. That's his first miss of the game. And look, I wanted to keep that perfect record intact, but we were giving him a pretty bad shot to shoot at the very end of the shot clock. So that's where the run ends for Mikal in terms of having missed or made shots. Yeah, made all of his shots. Oubre on the drive, got rid of Mikal, created the separation and scores for 2. He's probably been their number 1 player far and away. Spencer. Clacks rolls. He's got an open man in the corner. Guess who it is? Mikal. 3 is off. And that was a very open 3. So, second miss of the game. Rozier. Stops the spin. Airballed the midi. Good defense by whoever it was that stayed with. Clacks faked the pass. Went into the paint. Trapped himself under the basket. And now in transition, it's Rozier. He's picked up by Mikal. Williams trails. 1-2 with Rozier. Bounce pass back to Williams. The spin. And he's short on that layup. Clearly our ball. So it's going to be Nets on the side. Defense has remained pretty solid the entire game. Hornets haven't tried anything too inspiring. Clax, kick out. Finney Smith on the catch. The three is off to the left. So a bit of a slow start for both sides out the gates in the third. Rozier picks up his dribble. Hayward, Oubre on the wing. The three is off. The rebound by Clax again, who definitely is tracking down a 20 rebound game at this rate with all these misses we're getting on the Hornets end. Bridges. Clax, he's got open men everywhere. Dinwiddie doesn't shoot the three. Goes down the middle. The no-look to Bridges was errant. And I like Spence passing up the three to drive it, except be a little bit more aggressive on the drive. I would like to see that a bit more. Rozier gets to his spot off the glass. That doesn't bounce in. Another miss. And now Spencer. McCall. Oh, the acceleration was unbelievable. And it was way too easy by Charlotte. I mean, that is pretty piss poor, especially when you're down 29. I would not expect the starters to play an excessive amount of minutes in the second half. Rest up for Houston. Said no one ever, but Williams with the two after the first opportunity went to shit. McCall down the middle. Surely that's a foul. Washington will probably argue that he stayed vertical. It's going to be shots. Washington should probably be on a playoff team. I remember him being in some form of discussion. Yeah, when... I'm trying to think. Yeah, when we had KD and Kyrie, I feel like that was a discussion. I definitely saw that floating around on Twitter circles. So McCullough's had 20 points in 5 straight games. He's had 20 points in 7 of the 9 games as well. So very, very consistent, scoring 20. It's probably whether he can score 30 or 35 more frequently, which is a pretty tough ask, given he hasn't done it before this season, if ever. Hayward, step back 2 over Johnson. He got it. Swish. That's probably the first time he's done that in the entire game. Spence, change of direction. He is now trapped. Finney Smith comes over to help. Bounce past the Clax. Cam Johnson open in the corner. Gets by the closeout. Bridges one more for Dinwiddie. Excellent ball movement. And Dinwiddie missed the 3. But we get a second chance. We deserve it. McCall on the baseline. He missed it. So now we can't buy a bucket after making every single one of his shots in the opening quarter. Washington is off on the 3. A lot of misses in here. Johnson gonna drive. The runner is off. Rebound by Johnson. Clax. Easy dunk. And, well, if you can't score from the perimeter or from outside the restricted area or the paint, then go in there and do some damage. Clax. Easy high percentage 2 points there. Rozier, the kick out. Oubre catch and shoot 3. That's off. Rebound Dinwiddie. Offense, fair to say, has not been the name of the game in this third quarter. Dinwiddie, the high screen set by McCall. Step back 3. Oh my life. This guy is ridiculous, bro. He should not be allowed. Or, yeah. He shouldn't be allowed to do that rubbish. It's crazy. I need Johnson to hit another 3 ball. Maybe on. I mean, there's plenty of available shots on offer. Amazingly enough, we have only scored, what? In nearly half a quarter, we've scored only 9 points, yet that is still enough to outscore the Hornets. It's been that dire in terms of offense for the Charlotte Hornets. Let's have a look at the box score. You can just see Terry Rozier basically sums up how the Hornets have played today. Bad. Their bench is bad. They're shooting the ball so badly from the field. 33% and, well, 17. I'll be generous and round that up to 18%. But Mikal's got 28. It's been one of the most effortless 28-point games I've ever seen in my life. Joe off the bench with 9 alongside Spencer's 15. The shooting has gone down, but it doesn't really matter when your opposition can't even make a bucket, full stop. We've had 2 turnovers, so we're not giving him anything extra on that side of things. Clax has got 12 rebounds. Would he get 20? Probably not. He'll probably push 15, and that's going to do it. Gee, this like 15-year-old kid he's got to make a layup. Oh yeah, he won something. I think he made a mid-range, a layup on one end, and a layup on the other end. He won a damn basketball. Should probably give him something more than that. Alrighty. Those enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Drop a like and subscribe if you are new, so you're notified of when I go live next, which will be Nets Milwaukee and then Nets Minnesota. We've got a game in between Nets Houston, but off this basis, you would probably assume that we're going to win that one as well. These kind of games are the games that can get your team going defensively, because you get a bit of confidence that you can get some stops. Yeah. You get some stops. Especially with Houston, who play some heavy isolation. Like, we'll be able to pick them off very, very easily if they're not going to provide anything remotely threatening. So play resumes. Rozier. Oubre. Ball fake. Get that shit out of there! Clax with a swat. And the drive. And the block on the other side as well. We've got to make the Hornets feel a little bit good about themselves. We've got... What on earth? Spencer doesn't think he touched it. It looked like a deflection at some point by a net, but let's have a look if they show the replay. Josh, hope you're doing well, my guy. Clax will go to the bench. 6 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks for him tonight. A very good performance. Exactly what we needed on the defensive side. Offensively, we've got other players who have definitely picked up the slack. It's not like Clax was really an offensive focal point anyway. Oubre does not get the bounce. The rebound by Cam Johnson off hands. And Dinwiddie will slow the tempo down considerably. Dinwiddie, Johnson. Thought about the pass to Finney-Smith. Dinwiddie now back on the outside. Johnson. He's given the space. And he missed the 3. It was a bit short. So Rozier the other way. The drive. The kick out. Thor for 3. And that's off. Rebound by Williams, who has the size in that scenario over Dinwiddie. Bounce pass to the cutting Oubre. Wild layup attempt was off. And now we push the pace. Alley-oop! Oh, God. Finney-Smith. That was a little bit ropes. Why do those alley-oops never work? And then the Hornets on the other end. Hayward regained possession. It's going to be a jump ball. It initially was called a foul, I believe. But Royce is going to get the jump ball. A very frantic sequence there. And it is going to be Royce and Hayward in the jump. Well done by Royce there. Staying vertical. Very strong and grounded. And it is going to be, yep, a jump ball. But man, those alley-oops, I feel like with this new group, they're still working out the chemistry, obviously. And those stuff like alley-oops really show that the chemistry needs to be worked on, because the alley-oops haven't really come off yet. Mikel High screen Royce. The switch now sees Hayward picking McCall up. McCall, he got the body bump. It's going to be a foul. It's going to be 2 shots at the 4:49 mark in the third quarter. They have... Man, the Hornets have scored 6 points in the third quarter, man. They are going to be lucky if they hit 70. I'm not even joking. It has been abysmal. Thing is, they don't even have bad players. Like, they've got a few players that can score a capable 20. Bridges misses number 1, so he's crashed back down to earth in this third quarter. Dennis Smith is back in. Like, damn, the Hornets have sucked. They've been so bad. 6 points in 7 minutes. To be fair, we've scored 9. The second is good, and we breach 80. 33-point lead. This one is well under control. Rozier will bring the ball up. The high screen, the switch, and now Hayward, picked up by Finney Smith. To the corner. Finney Smith. Oh, why did I say Finney Smith? Dennis Smith. Pass to Hayward, who airballed the fadeaway. Bridges down the middle. The layup is good. And that length means he can make up so much ground in, well, an unprecedented amount of time. We just forced another turnover. Curry opts for a bit of slower tempo half-court offense. Step back 2 is off. The rebound was nearly found by Royce. Dennis Smith in transition. Kick out. 3 by Mikhailuk, who's in the game for the first time tonight, who also airballed it. I think it was partially blocked. Spencer. Layup. Got it to go. And, yeah, the Hornets are playing like trash. They're 3 of 17 in the quarter. We're not much better at 5 of 15, but... You know, you would have expected the Hornets to play a little bit better than this rubbish. Spencer Dinwiddie, Curry, Royce, back to Curry. He's got Mikhailuk picking him up. I would take this on if I were you. Curry lost the ball initially. Rozier could not get the steal. Finney Smith going to drive. The spin, the layup. He wanted the foul. He's not going to get it. Mikhailuk did well to stay with. Mikhailuk trailing. Hayward, ball fake, down the middle, extra feed. Washington, the dunk. And finally a bucket for the Hornets. They've got 8 points in 9 minutes in this third quarter. It's been a pretty ugly watch if you are the a Hornet supporter. I mean, what on earth is there to cheer about? They've scored 49 in nearly 3 quarters. That is, well, if we use the Nets Bulls game as a basis, we had about 60 at 3-quarter time and ended up on 87. They're not even getting close to that. You know, 49 at this stage of the game. We've already seen all the players that they can bring in, and they're definitely not moving the needle. So, yeah, this has been pretty poor by the Hornets, but let's look at the box score. McCall with another effortless 30-point game. Dinwiddie with 17. The offense really hasn't done anything in this third quarter. We've only made 1 3-pointer. Not really surprising. Field goal percentage has gone down, but the Hornets keep on getting worse. 31% from the field and 15% from 3. I wish it was 50%. At least we'd have a ball game. Oubre hasn't made a shot in the third quarter, or he's probably made 1. He's on 1 of 6, I think. Mark Williams, the only guy who's shooting above 50% for the starters. They've only got 1 player in double figures scoring-wise. And look, you would think, based off their current score, it probably should be the second quarter and not the third. They've been unbelievably bad. I wish Royce stays in Brooklyn for at least a few more years. I like his energy. But it only looks good when he actually, we're winning. When we're losing, it's god-awful to watch. And if he can't make threes, it looks even worse. I don't understand. We're up 35. Why are you playing your starters still for? Look, I find it as a positive, though, that we got the job done. Granted, I think any team would do that if the opposition has scored 49 in nearly 3 quarters, but it could have been a lot closer. It could have been a halftime scoreline if we played like shit. So it's good we're up by a very considerable amount. It makes things much more relaxing. If you've got any questions, go ahead. Yes! Utah is in! Yes! Woo! Let's go! We have a Utah sighting in actual meaningful minutes. Finally. Now, I hope that by Utah playing well, he actually can get some, he gets back in the rotation. So we have no Joe Harris. Here's Utah. Doesn't shoot the 3. Drive. The runner is well off. And what do you expect? When he hasn't played in about 4 weeks, he is going to have a fair bit of rust attached. Rozier. Hayward. Midi. That rims in. And they crack 50. Dinwiddie. High screen. What? Offensive foul on Clax. Okay. So, third quarter winding down. Granted, it feels like it's garbage time with how low stakes it is, or at least what the scoreline suggests. Rozier, the step back 3, he's finally got one. It's probably the first shot he's made in the entire second half. Dinwiddie. Clax. Curry. Wide open 3. What the hell was that? A fat air ball right there. Jesus Christ. A lot of open 3s. I'd get Cam Thomas in now. Give him a run. Rozier, the pass to Hayward. He's got Utah picking him up. Good defense. Force the pass. 3 in the corner. That's off. The rebound, Utah. Push the pace, Utah. Curry. Back. Bridges is wide open for 3. Extra pass. Curry is open again. What is he doing on the court if he can't fucking score the 3, man? Gee, the acceleration by Smith was crazy. And he scores the 2. It's a 9-0 run for the Hornets. That's like the only run they've gone on. They've scored the same amount of points in about 2 minutes as they did in the previous 8. Clax. Drive, the Euro, the flip is good. That was very, very nice to watch. Rozier now 1-on-1. Step back 3 over Utah. That's good. And all of a sudden, the Hornets have just decided to wake up. They've been dormant for like 3 quarters. And, yeah, a couple makes. Makes it interesting. Curry for 3. Bro, he's got to stop shooting the fucking ball. He's been arse. 0 for 8. He hasn't even made a shot. Oh my God. Rozier has, I don't know what he took in the timeout that we had probably a few minutes ago. We were 9 of 17 from 3. Since that point, we are 2 of 18. We've been shithouse. It's a 24-point game. We've had plenty of time to kill it. The Hornets were trash for like so long. Dinwiddie misses the layup. 2 to shoot. Rozier, he's feeling it. He's going to score this, isn't he? No. So a 24-point game at 3-quarter time. I mean, a late quarter run by the Hornets gives them a bit of a fighting chance, but let's have a look at the box score. I mean, Rozier's actually 50% from 3. Who would have thought? But last time we checked, it was 30% from the field and 15% from three. It's now gone up to 35% and 25% from three. So already a big difference. And they've gone on a 15-2 run, believe it or not. It was 84-47 at its highest. And Seth Curry happened. That's the reason why there is a little inkling of hope for the Hornets, because Seth Curry's decided to go ham, very trigger happy on the 3-pointers, and he's missed 5 of them. So going by that, I'd rather have Joe in the game. Which, I mean, it's yeah, pretty interesting that I want Joe in over Seth. But in terms of this game, it's a no-brainer. Joe's hit 3 threes, man. Cam Thomas even. Why has he only played 7 minutes in a blowout? Like, little stuff like that doesn't make sense. So alrighty. Around the grounds, what's going on? New York, Boston. That is a huge game. Milwaukee, Washington. That's... who cares right now? Memphis, LA is yet to play. That's going to be a really good game as well. So, I would definitely be foreseeing some cam time. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new to the stream. Alrighty. So 1 quarter to play. Big last quarter ahead. Just get the job done in the first 3 minutes. Get it out of 30, and then that'll do it. Thoughts on the Liverpool-Man United massacre? I find it very funny. That's what I'll say. As an Everton fan, I hate Liverpool, but I also hate Man United. And it's really funny that they've just gotten destroyed. Completely. Joe is in the game. Utah Cam Johnson, Clax, and Seth Curry is still in. Johnson on the catch. That's off. We cannot make a 3. Dennis Smith. Drive. Bounce pass. Oh my shit! Williams with a huge dunk over Clax. And then Curry turns it over. Oh my god. Smith lost the ball. Got it back. Timeout in 30 seconds. It's down 20. The Hornets are down 20. We now can't buy a shot, and the Hornets getting some good looks. The threes are on offer. They are not falling, but Seth Curry's got to go. At least right now for this game, he has got to go. He has been rubbish. Why is Seth Curry in over Cam Thomas? In a blowout especially. What is the point? Who made up this decision? Even Joe. I'd rather have Joe in this game over Seth Curry. Like, what on earth, man? Why on earth did Shark even think about playing him in this last quarter? 0 of 8 in 15 minutes. Like, that's just a no-brainer. You don't... I've seen a tweet which really sums this up. Utah finally gets his chance and Seth Curry decides to be a ball hog. That's so right. Utah thrives on the catch and Seth holding the ball for the entire possession. What benefit does that serve? Oh my god. Seth Curry, Royce O'Neal, and DFS before the final quarter started were 2 of 21. 10%, bro. And we're somehow up 20. Thank you, McCall and Spence. Rozier's been arse until like the last few minutes where he's knocked down like 3 3-pointers out of nowhere. He was 2 of 13 and he's made his last 3 shots. Seth Curry gotta go, man. I swear if he's playing out of the timeout, I can't be asked. We should be winning by a lot more. This is what I said before. The game should be dead in the water. You should not have let him back in the game. The Hornets were bricking shots left, right, and center. You had plenty of opportunity to go up the other end and get some high percentage looks, or at least make them. Okay, I see McCall, Clax, Cam Johnson, Joe, and I can't see who's in the other corner because my headphones are blocking. Utah. So Seth Curry's gone to the bench. But why is Cam not playing? Where's the foul? That's a shit 3. And now the Hornets in transition again. They can get it down under 20. Smith, the runner, is good. 21-2 run. They have sliced the deficit in half completely. Foot off the gas. We literally have taken it off. Johnson, down the middle. Lost the ball, another turnover. Oh my god. Oubre just lost the ball. Utah with the steal. I did say this in the third quarter. No lead is safe. Utah for 3. He missed it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very interesting. Getting too cute. Oh my god, they've hit another 3. Oh no! 24-2 run! It would be such a Nets thing to do. Joe for 3 saves our ass and knocks it down. Thank you, Lord. That was a 24-2 run by the Hornets. What the fuck was that? Now you know that they're not messing around. They've picked up their shooting. Dennis Smith, Oubre, 3 to shoot. Utah forces the disjointed play. They've got 1.4 to get a shot off. It was off Utah, so it's going to be Hornets in the corner. The Mavs check in. Excuse me. Utah and Clax to the bench. Ball going to be inbounded to Washington. The turnaround deep 2. He tried one off the glass. It did not go down. That's so low percentage. McCall to the trailing Joe. Spencer, 1-on-1 with Williams. If you're smart, you attack the basket. We've got a 5-out lineup. Here we go. Spencer. How did he get it to go? How on earth does he manage that? It looked like it was a half dunk, half block, half layup. He just lost the ball midair, and it was like one of the weirdest trajectories for a layup I've ever seen. But a couple of buckets has made it a little bit more comfortable. A couple of blocks in there, so... Or not blocks, stops. Alrighty. We should be done and dusted here. We should be. Famous last words said before disaster, people. Alrighty. If you are enjoying, you know the deal. Make sure to drop a like. and subscribe. Those who are returning, welcome. Right now, it is a 20-point lead. Mikal scored 19 without a miss in the first quarter. He has dropped off since because he hasn't had the opportunity to shoot it or really get the ball, because unsurprisingly, the attention has been much, much higher. Alrighty. Man, it has not been a very good offensive second half. I mean, it's been 30 points to 24 in the way the Hornets in this second half. It was out to 37. Then the Hornets decided to take some performance enhancement pills and decided to start knocking down their shots. This is Mikal Bridges' fourth 30-point game in the last 7. Credit to him, yet again. Alrighty. Put the game to bed. There is 9 minutes, so much time left. So we got a pass deflected out of bounds straight away. So Hornets inbound it. Oubre into the paint. Good defense, DFS. Picks up the block. And the Hornets get back pretty well, so we're going to need to get into some half-court offense here. Cam Johnson. Mikal. Give off to his fellow twin. Johnson will get a couple shots. So what he's done well in the last couple of games, or at least since the All-Star break, the attack on the basket's been excellent. Especially when his shooting has been lacking. He's never shied away from attacking the paint. So the first free throw is good, and after the Hornets went on a 24-2 run, a make here would cut it back down, or extend it, sorry, to 22, a 7-0 run of our own. So Washington to Smith, through the middle, DFS with the block again. Dennis Smith ends up with it again. McGowan's in the corner. Back out to Dennis Smith. DFS guarding. Bounce pass. Cam Johnson fell asleep. McGowan's tried the reverse. He missed it, but somehow ended up back with it. And it is back down at 20. So 8 or so minutes left. Hoping for the Knicks to lose. I'll be watching it in my own time after this, and I think it's going to be a pretty good watch. Bridges lost the ball. He thought there was a bit of a hit on the arm. Oubre in transition. The flip is good. He wasn't even looking at the basket. So they've been much more assertive in this last quarter. They haven't really... They seemed a bit in their shell in the first 2.5 quarters, basically 3 quarters. Hornets shooting 60% from the field in the quarter. 2 of 7, the Nets are. Had a few turnovers in there as well. Dinwiddie the drive. Foul. Got it! And he saw a little bit. Bit slow to get up. Looked like he took a shot, but Spencer's... Well, this is very, very reminiscent of the 2018-19 Spence, 1920 Spence, where when the offense seems to be in a bit of a rut, he'd get a couple and ones to go, taking the ball downhill. So what we've needed, 95-75 with 7.5 to play in this final term. And to lose from here would be very, very deflating. And it would also, yeah, oh, he is limping, Spence. Looks a bit ginger. I don't know if it was, he held his shoulder, but looked like he was limping. Oubre is going to be fouled, I think, well before the shot, but Finney-Smith did force a tie-up. We do need the Knicks to lose, though, because obviously they are within reach. I don't know who I would rather. At this stage of the season, would I rather the Cavaliers or the Sixers? Probably the Cavaliers. I haven't seen us play the Cavaliers with this new remade squad. But with the Sixers, we coped extremely well. You know, I think isolation basketball actually plays into our favor a lot. Like, when the Sixers played us, we forced them into so much isolation. The defense on Embiid was wonderful. I mean, granted, I think Ben was playing. So we had a pretty solid backup five. Now we do have a backup five, provided we actually sign Noel and it doesn't fall through. Gee, we're 30% in the second half from the field. That's why we've let him back in. Mikel. One-on-one with Hayward. Dinwiddie on the catch. Thought about the three. Driving kick. Joe, as the shot clock expired. That is a 2018-19 play if I've ever seen one. Driving kick to Joe. And the three as the shot clock expires against Charlotte. McGowans puts the head down, tries to shoot over Joe. Good defense. What happens? Assuming you say, when are we going to be a super team? When will we become a super team? I think the super team days are gone, my friend. Mikel, long strides. He misses the layup. Good defense. Hayward stayed with him every step of the way. We're about to exceed the final half of the last quarter. That's a good roll by Hayward to the basket. Super teams are crybabies. Oh, look, I just can't be asked with the mindset. I think the super team era was enough for one day. Much less drama here. We can just talk about basketball purely. Good or bad. Dinwiddie. One-on-one with Hayward. Step back three. Off. DFS follows up with the offensive board. Joe. Cam Johnson. Top of the key. That's off. He's missed a lot of threes. Joe with the near steal. They were trying to get it ahead to Rozier, who had gotten into the corner. Oh, that three's not going to count. The Joe Harris three is not going to count. So the lead is back down to 18 without the Hornets having to do a thing. Those last two games are massive. I'm surprised, honestly. Well, not really this game. Wait, where did the Hornets points go? Not really this. Yeah, not really this game. I wouldn't see this game as a surprise. Washington's just thrown it to Rozier if he was 7 foot. Unfortunately, he isn't, and it's flown out of bounds. Nets ball. Crisis averted. Yeah, we did give him a little bit of sympathy, a bit of false hope, if you will. But now we just got to put this game to bed. The offense has been wacko in this second half, though. Tell you that much. Bridges, that ball bobbles out. Rozier nearly lost the ball before he had even gathered it. We exceed the final 5 minutes, a 20-point deficit. The offense, as I said, has been shithouse in the second half. DFS has been pretty good for the majority of that defensive possession. He swatted the ball, but unfortunately, it's going to be a foul on Joe Pryor. So it wasn't even DFS. So free throws for Rozier as we exceed the final 5 minutes. If you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you would like as well. So Rozier made number 1. Second is good. So 96-78. Let's close this one out, people. Bridges in an isolation with Hayward. Picking him up. Bridges the spin. That's off. Rebound Hayward. Bridges cannot make a shot now. Started lights out. Now he can't even buy one. Hayward lost the ball, regathered and scored. So it's down to 14. I believe this is the closest it's ever gotten since it was all the way out at 37. We have shot the ball 23% in the quarter to the Hornets, who are shooting 62%. What is this isolation? Bridges lost it, got it back. Turnaround 2 is off. Finney Smith, the putback. Man, that was huge, because a miss there, Hornets can go up the other end and cut it down to a very manageable deficit. Johnson, that is unbelievable. What a save. Falling out of bounds. He had no right saving that. Very awkward. Was able to bounce past it back in without even looking at where he was passing it. And now Spence will let the clock run. Lost the ball. Got it back. Extra dribble. Got through. Missed the layup. Hornets in transition now. It's a 5-on-4 in our direction. Oubre on the catch. Over Johnson. The 3 rims out. That was awfully close to going down, and you would sense that that is probably the last gasp opportunity. Bridges gets through. Stops. The pull-up is off. Johnson, the rebound. The putback. Can't get it to go. The Hornets the other way now. Rozier. Gonna drive, get through. Dinwiddie, good defense. That was an acrobatic type of layup. And we got more shots for Rozier. All those shots that McCull is missing now, he would have made, like, in the first half. The funny thing is, despite how badly he shot the ball in this half, he's probably still shooting above 50%. So 3 minutes to play. There's plenty of time for another run in here. Free throw is off by Rozier. That's not going to help the cause. So we scored 70 in the opening 2 quarters. We have backed that up with a 28-point second half. Yet we lead by 16. What a crazy game. Joe goes to the bench after a bit of extended run. Royce is in the game. What is he doing? So they're holding Clax out. They may want to... Well, Jacques Vaughan has said they're trying to manage Clax for the rest of the season. I don't know why, but probably maybe the most glaring thing is because he's the #1 center quite clearly by a country mile. Probably the only center, at least at this point in time, before we sign Nerlens Noel. So Rozier made 1 and 2. Johnson, the 3 over Hayward. That's off. Why are you shooting that? Rozier in transition. If they push the pace, it gets interesting. Washington, the 3. He's off. Rebound, Bridges. And now Dinwiddie. A better team, and this would get very interesting. I need Johnson to hit 18 points. I don't think he will get it. Well, he's had a lot of 3s to shoot, and he cannot make 1. Much like everyone else on this roster in the second half. Spence the turn and the layup. And we finally cracked the ton after scoring 70 at an insane rate in the first half. Rozier, step back 3. That's off. Bridges the back tap, and Royce will give it to Spence. A better team, and we would have lost by 15. Well, look. We did all the hard work in the first half. We were up 29 at halftime. So that was always going to be a difficult deficit to come back from. Even, what was it, a three-quarter time? It was like a 20-point... It was like a 20-point deficit at three-quarter time. So we've done well to actually stay pretty level with them in this last quarter, despite how badly we've shot the ball. Dinwiddie gets it from the inbounds, and now the switch. Hayward is picking up Dinwiddie on the wing. Spence is doubled. Royce, corner. Finney-Smith, got a driving kick. Dinwiddie from way downtown. Oh, God, that is hideous. That really sums it up, doesn't it, in this second half? There hasn't been much to cheer about. The Hornets have scored 42 points, and that has actually been better than us. Amazingly enough. Like, just when you put it all into perspective, as Smith makes the 3 to cut it back down to 14. What an ugly win, huh? I mean, I sure as hell know that that second half was not worth watching. We should have about 125 points in this game. A lot of bricks in the second half, man. So we've got 47 or so seconds left. Really weird how Cam did not get a run in the second half. We scored 30 points, is an offensive weapon, and the Hornets have not shown that they can knock down shots. So why on earth is Cam not getting run in this game? He played barely any time in the second half, if at all. So Mikal makes number 1. I believe the Nets are in the bonus. That is why Mikal is at the free throw line for a foul off the ball. Hornets are 27th in defense. It showed. We had a lot of open looks. Bro, Mikal's getting MVP chance after shooting like 1 of 8 from the field, man. Smith for 3. Didn't even do nothing with that. You don't deserve the win. If we don't deserve the win, you're probably trolling, but if we don't deserve the win, are you telling me the Hornets win having scored under 90 points in a game? We scored 70.5, my guy. Well, that's going to do it. I'm just going to let the clock run. It is a win. A win is a win. It doesn't matter how shit it is. We got it done. Now, I just want to pose to you how bad our shooting was in the second half. He's a Bozo Suns fan. I can't see the profile picture. Oh, well. Broski, I root for KD. Like, I hope he does well. All right. That second half, like, it's like we've popped a balloon. Like, in the sense, it was just deflating that second half. We won by 16, and I'm sitting here like we've just been flogged by 40. At least Suns fans know basketball. I'm not even sure what you mean by that, but... you can see Cam Johnson, I mean, 11 points. Look at the shooting. Mikal was unbelievably good in the first half, at least. Amazingly, he shot the ball like way over 50%, despite going really badly. You're sitting there complaining, that's all I hear. I'm sitting here complaining because we scored 32 points in the second half. 32 points in a half. That is the reason I'm complaining. But I would have liked to actually have destroyed this team and played a full 4-quarter performance. I'm not the kind that will sit here and sugarcoat the fact that we played a bad second half. Because I know very well, if we played Milwaukee and we're up 29 at the half, we play a second half like this, we lose. So I'm going to keep it real. If we look at some other stats, Clax with 3 blocks, Mikal with 33, Dinwiddie with 24, and he actually provided some big buckets late. Because, yeah, we needed him. It's not complaining, it's constructive criticism. Well, look, I think we're all within our right to complain about the second half. We scored 32 points in a half. We scored 70 in the first half. If 70 is the ceiling, then 32 is unacceptable. You score 38 less points in the second half compared to the first half. It shouldn't be happening. Full stop, it shouldn't be happening against the 27th ranked defense. It shouldn't happen. We should have scored 125 points. But as I said, I take a win. A win is a win. We need the wins. We will take the wins. But Spence was pretty key. 24 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. He got some big threes early, and when the going got tough, the tough got going for Spence. And yeah, Joey with 4 threes off the bench. That was pretty good to see. He was definitely better than Seth Curry, who was basically a walking cardio machine. I seriously am in awe as to how Seth Curry has gotten 16 minutes on 0 of 8 shooting, and Cam Thomas has gotten 7 minutes shooting 2 of 4. Time to pray for the Knicks' downfall. Well, yeah, we hope. As much as I hate Boston. In the first half, we were 57% from the field and 41% from 3. Sorry, 38%. Or something like that. Look at the shooting now. 39% from the field, 28% from 3. I mean, improvements you gotta go in the lab and work on some stuff. The free throw number, if I can actually get rid of the highlighting, decent enough. 5 turnovers, a very responsible game with the basketball. Dorian Finney-Smith was all right, and the Hornets nearly shot at the same percentages as we did. We won the rebounding stat, more turnovers for them. Probably cost them the game. They got 15 off the bench from Dennis Smith. They ended up having 5 players in double figures, which looked pretty tough for them, especially in that third quarter where everything was lacking. But overall, yeah, we got the win. We did what we needed to do. That is that, and now we move forward. Thanks for the live. Good night, all. Yep, to those leaving, good night or good afternoon, as is the case here where I am based. But overall, we look forward. First and foremost, I'm just going to quickly see the Knicks-Boston game is currently sitting in the hands of Boston with a 4-point lead. RJ Barrett, for some reason, has decided to wake up for a game like this. He's got 16. They don't have Brunson. So that should be an opportunity for us to win. Or for the Celtics to win. Boston have got 16 from Tatum, 9 from Brown, 8 from White. Marcus Smart is 0. Horford is 0. Obviously, we said that, we know that Robert Williams is now ruled out with a hamstring problem. Your commitment for the Nets is unmatched. Yep, that's one thing I pride myself on. And look, we got to stay committed to the cause. Alrighty. Even the so-called complaining, love the commitment. Good afternoon. Afternoon to you too, Amy. Alrighty. That'll do it from me. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like on the way out and subscribe if you are new. But we will see you this weekend or later this week for Nets Milwaukee and Nets Minnesota. I'll be right here. I ain't going nowhere. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.